the cover slave. The show used to play 30K, and now we play Kill Team.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's what we've been doing.
With me is Clarence.
Hey.
And Jason.
Hey.
We're going to play Kill Team today. 200 points with the Commander expansion. So we got, what you got here?
I got Space Marines, which are Raven Guard themed.
Raven Guard. And you got
Tau.
Tau.
which are Tau themed.
They're Tau.
Tau.
Excellent. We've got a pretty cool board. We're still doing single board. We might double up the size eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to see how 200 points of Commander play. We're back with the armies, or so the kill teams and stuff.
The forces.
The forces.
Yeah.
200-point Raven Guard, not really, but normal Space Marine kill team with Commander. I have a Plasma Gunner. He has a Plasma Gun. I have a Veteran Reaver Specialist. He's got the grab shoe, he's got the grapnel hook. And with our special way of doing specialists, lots of special around here, he's got the generate command point to be used for veteran specialties and the aura leadership debuff around him to pair with the Reaver stuff. I've got a base leader Scout Sergeant. He's just there to generate command points and be as cheap as possible. I've got another Reaver Specialist. He's a demo guy, so he's got the extra grenade range. That's really it. He just looks cool. My third specialist is another Reaver. He's a sergeant this time. Again with the grapnel and the shoot with the other two. And he's got the +1 to hit and melee and the 6s to wound to cause mortal wounds. And then I have, out of my normal guys, I have a tactical sergeant with combi flamer. He's not a specialist. And then for my commander, he's a lieutenant with the stalker bolt rifle, and he's a level 4 shooting guy. So he's got the 6s do mortal wounds. He's got the ignore obscure penalty. He's got the +1 to hit from the base thing, and then he has forget what the last thing is. Let's check it out real fast. So he's got +1 to wound as well. So that's my 200 point list. I think I have 3 leftover points. But yeah, that's it.
200 points of Tau kill team with Commander. So I'll go left to right. So we have there's 2 Fire Warriors, just standard non-specialist Fire Warriors. There's 3 gun drones here, and we have a non-specialist rail rifle, 1 demo rail rifle. Actually, sorry, this is the demo rail rifle. This is the non-specialist. This is a sniper ion rifle. We've got my commander, Cadre Fireblade, and he's got a couple cool things. He's got the Aura of Command, so he increases his aura tactics by 3 inches. He has Master of Wars. Every time he uses an aura tactic, he gets a command point on a 3+. He has Resourceful, so he gives additional command points, just like the leader does. And he also has Stoic Hero, so he ignores penalties to his flesh hit rolls from flesh wounds that he has. And then there was one other thing. He also has I forget what it's called, but he gives everyone as long as he's alive, everyone gets like +1 nerve or something like that. So that's cool. Next to him, we have a Chassui with pulse rifle, marker light. Behind him, we have a recon drone. There's a grav inhibitor drone, because it's always good and everybody hates them. Here we have, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more Fire Warriors. This guy is actually a specialist. This is my comm specialist. He's operating the turret. So my 3 specialists are comms, demo, and sniper. And then, yeah, I think that's it. That's my 200 points.
All right, so we rolled up quarters for deployment type. Yes, we're doing variable, like pitch battle, hammer and anvil quarters. So we rolled that up and got quarters. I chose this quarter, and obviously ended up deploying first because Jason has way less models, so kind of have like Reavers kind of close up front, more shooty guys more in the back, and then kind of like using the crates as some key line of sight blocking from Jason's Taoisms. And yeah, that's really all my deployment.
So you
Wasn't
got
too
your
hard.
7 models there?
Yeah. Made sure not to give him any like really crazy buildings or anything like that for him to go in. And yeah.
So here we are with my very creative, very, very cunning strategy. So I've clumped up into a giant, predictable wall.
Some form of gun wall.
Nice little firing line for him. I've got some guys up here to get a nice advantage. I've got some drones hiding
Where's Commander there?
back here. This is my commander,
There we go.
and that's my leader. And that is my deployment.
So we're gonna be rolling off for our first turn initiative
Yay!
right here.
Well, I rolled
So
a 10
Jason-
again.
Alright, so good game, Jason.
Who's going first?
Yeah, so Jason will go first.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are at the end of the first battle round's movement phase. So I readied these two guys because, well, that's a turret and it doesn't move, so we always readies. And that's his operator, and he's just going to sit there. These guys kind of moved over in their own kind of group.
You got the thing there on the Commander?
Yeah, that's right. I got the aura ability working on my commander, so I spent a CP for that. And we have a couple guys here who Cleary charged with his crazy combination of veteran tactics and everything. So he's got a nice charge in there on those guys. This rail rifle scampered up on top of this sort of smokestack there, while the little shoal of gun drones sort of just moved over there and kind of get some good firing positions.
Yeah, so for me, as I said, as Jason said, I use adaptive tactics and decisive move to charge in before anything else could happen, like both with the move and then the charge. I advanced my tactical sergeant up there. I normal moved my demo reaver. I scooted my scout sergeant leader behind main line of sight blocking.
Commander's holding there.
Yeah, I readied my commander and his plasma friend, and I advanced my combat specialist over behind the bulk of the main force. And yeah, that was my movement phase, and we'll see at the end of the shooting phase.
So here we are at the end of the first battle round. So we are looking at the ready models. These guys here, he didn't shoot anything because he had nothing to shoot at. This turret fired over here, didn't do anything. Over here, this group of fire warriors and this rail rifle, they all basically shot at this guy and this guy. It did one wound to the
Normal
Primaris,
wound,
one normal wound. So no flesh wounds. This guy, I think, he got flesh wounded.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
marker.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over here, these drones fired a bunch of shots over at that guy who was sneaking around, but to no avail. The rail rifle up here managed to hit this guy. Or one of the two, I don't remember. I hit this, I think it was this guy, and I didn't wound him.
Yeah, you felt
unfortunately.
with
So,
all your rail rifles.
yep.
For me, I shot his combi flamer. I got like 3 shots, and I did a flesh wound to the other rail rifle. And I threw a shock grenade with my grenadier. I got 3 hits, but I failed to hit with any of them, or 3 shots. And then my 2 shooting guys over here both missed. So that was good.
Yeah.
And then in melee, I failed to hit or he didn't kill anyone with my reaver.
But the Tau managed to hold them down and use their nerd rage to take 1 wound off of them.
Yeah. So with that, there's like, we can't fail any of our nerve tests, and we don't have to take the bottles. So yeah, that's the end. We'll see at the end of round 2. Right, so this is the end of battle round 2. I got the priority, so I did some movement, some charging. So I charged my combat intercessor from behind the wall. He, at the melee that was here, he support fired with his drones and his rail rifle, and the rail rifle hit and wounded and forced me to use I think it's Angel of Death or Death Denied.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
To not die, so it drained my command points pretty well. But as a result, I had a flesh wound on him, and got into melee. Moved my reaver just up there to kind of get a position, and I had readied my flamer, and that was it for my movement. Jason, what did you do?
So a lot of these guys here just readied, and the drones that were up here moved over to sort of support this group. The two of the guys that were in this combat moved back. and I think that was it. Yeah, this guy over here moved into line of sight a little bit just to take a shot. He missed. Now, I fired a whole bunch of pulse shots up here, and round rifle shots and everything. I did a wound, I believe.
You did 2 flesh wounds.
Oh, I did 2 flesh
Yeah,
wounds.
you
So
did
I
2 flesh
basically
wounds.
killed him twice, and he
and you killed my my veteran.
That's right.
My
The
tactical
veteran
sergeant.
tactical sergeant. Yeah, took him out.
And then we had exchanged some fire between our shooting guys, and I did a flesh wound on your
Yes.
rail rifle.
He is shaken.
Yeah, he failed his nerve test due to the veteran aura from this guy, and also rolling a 6. And is shaken as a result, and I managed to kill off his 2 guys in combat, barely. Yeah, it's the nerf weapon Space Marines.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. We're heading into round 3, and we'll see at the end of that.
So here we are at the end of battle round
3.
3 now. Okay. So not a whole lot happened as far as movement was considered for my forces. So we just sort of hold up here again, readied. Unfortunately,
You used your
yes,
your
I
aura.
used my aura again. I had quite a few CPs farmed up. There was some melee shenanigans from Cleary.
So yeah, what had happened is I had used shock and awe because I had the top of the movement to try and charge with my Reaver. So I hit his commander with that, and I figured pretty decent odds of getting in. So he overwatched with his entire center
I
force.
burned off some CPs to hit on 4 blasts and stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
The beta trap!
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did ended up killing him off. So, but as a result, didn't have anything else to shoot with
Yeah.
because everything else was locked in combat.
that's right.
When it came around to his turn. So the rest of my movement, I charged these 2 Fire Warriors with my Combat Reaver, and I charged his turret controller with my Veteran Reaver. And in the ensuing combat, I killed his turret controller, and I flesh wounded both of his guys here, who then failed their nerve tests. I think he did manage to inflict a flesh wound on this guy from his Overwatch, and he hit him up with the photon grenade,
Yeah.
which was cool. And then in my shooting phase, I was finally able to down his pesky fan guy.
That was with the commander?
No, it was with the plasma gun. The commander hasn't done anything.
There we go.
He's taken a wound. So, it's Jason's got the middle of the board, but I'm kind of doing the old reach around to get him.
It's kind of he's taking out my the turret and a little bit of my backfield.
He's starting to clench up a bit, but we'll see how it goes.
Lots of clenching and reach arounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's the joke.
We'll be back for round 4.
Yeah. All right. So this is the end of battle round turn 4. I think battle round. Yeah.
Yep.
So start of the turn. Jason readied up his aura. He got the priority, so he kind of clumped, moved some drones over to the objective over in the far corner, and that's really all the moving he did because that's all he had left to do. I charged his drones. He did a flesh wound to my scout sergeant, and didn't get to do anything else because his entire fire base managed to kill my guy off. He did die with 3 flesh wounds on him though, so it was pretty epic. So yeah, there's Jason shooting, and then in my combat, I killed 2 drones from my own shooting. One with my my commander's first kill shot of the game. It popped a drone, and then I overcharged my plasma gun and blew the other one off the board. And then in the combat phase, I managed to kill one of his guys that was shaken.
And then shook the other guy.
Yeah, and then the other guy continued to be shaken.
He's pooping his little towel pants.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll beat up on him soon.
Yeah.
And that's really it. And we'll see you guys at the... Oh, the game kept on going too?
Yep.
So we'll see you at the end of turn 5 and possibly the game.
Here we are at the end of battle round 5. Wow, what else to say? So I just kind of shifted onto this objective to try and just solidify my hold on that a little more, and then I split up another group and kind of went over to this objective just to kind of, see if I can claim that objective. This Fire Warrior here got clobbered finally by this Reaver. It's a Reaver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we go over here, there's a gun drone in combat with these 2 guys. Nobody killed anyone.
Yeah.
Not that there was a big surprise of gun drones killing stuff immediately, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all that happened. I moved stuff kind of out of the way. I opted not to shoot pistols in the shooting phase because then he would have been able to shoot back with guys who were out of.
Yeah, I basically didn't
Out
have a
of
shooting
ready.
phase. This
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dante over there.
Slowly slaying down Taos one after another.
And we do have another turn coming.
Yep.
Yeah, so we do have another. So we'll see you at the end of the game at turn 6. All right, so this is the end of turn 6 and therefore the game. So Jason got to move first. He kind of clumped his guys on each objective and moved 2 drones over to contest this one. Like he fell back from the other combat with his gun drone. So how I moved was, because I got the bottom of the turn, was super beneficial for me because I got to see how he moved and got to react to that first. I advanced my Reaver. He rolled a 10, so he managed to just get on down. I charged my my lieutenant around with a 9, so I was able to get into combat. And then I moved my guys over so that he couldn't get line of sight, but I was still within the objective range. So as a result, he wasn't able to shoot me with anything.
That's all those good old activations.
Yeah. But the combat, nothing happened, because even though I have like 4 attacks, I activated my aura, so they hit on 2s, they went on like 4s, because they're toughness 4, they reroll 1s, I got like 3 misses on the hit roll, so, you know, it didn't really matter as long as I held those objectives, which I did, and I was able to pull out a victory of 15 for my 2 objectives, and 9 Tau kills to his 12 from his 2 objectives. 3 objectives, sorry.
3 objectives. 1.
Yeah, and his 3 Space Marine kills. So it was a pretty close game. It lasted the entire turns, which we haven't gotten so far, and I had a lot of fun.
I did too.
Yeah, we both killed a bunch of each other's team. So yeah, it was a good game, Jason.
Yeah.
See you in the post game show.
Yeah. Welcome to the post game show. Not really sponsored by Lone Brow. It's not. But we drank it all night long, so it kind of is. It's
No,
the,
this is the same beer that I've been drinking.
Yeah.
That you've seen.
Excellent German beer.
It's the sponsor of my win because Jason drank too much beer.
Yeah,
Illegal.
I'd rather go with that than I just genuinely fucked up.
Well, it helps you fuck up, right? Like,
Cleary, give me your epic fail.
okay, so my epic fail of the game was my 101 point commander. He killed 1 drone and didn't actually do anything in the end because it didn't matter if he was there because he didn't kill anyone.
No.
So he did literally 1 thing.
No, his life meant nothing.
Actually, no, he had a flesh wound on your guy up there that
Yeah?
made him shake. So he did two things.
Yep.
What was your epic fail, Jay?
So I'm torn between either the guy that Claire just mentioned, the rail rifle, that went up here and was like so ready for glory, like I'll kill everyone, and then he just like couldn't hit, wasn't a range shit.
I'm deaf.
Like, also I put him up here, and then like, this pillar was like in the perfect spot to like fuck me, and that was also the turn I forgot about the Holy Ghost cover card. Like it was. So I guess maybe I'm the epic fail. Okay, no, but it's either that or the guy who got shook for like 3 turns.
Yeah.
Who, while being like his face punched, he's just like,
Pistol whip.
I'm gonna stand here and do nothing.
Toughest towel in the opponent.
So I'm gonna go with that firewire in the back because at least that guy actually hit.
Yeah, because
somebody.
that guy let me stay locked in combat for.
Yeah, exactly. So he kind of, you know what? He ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
It was him.
So.
Unnamed Firewire number 6.
MVP clearance.
Yeah, so on the tail end of that, it has to be the combat specialist Reaver.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe like he did kill a couple of them, but also you know what? The veteran. It was the veteran because the veteran killed the other 2.
Yeah.
The first 2. And then he killed the operator, which killed the tower as well.
You also stopped my my ion from shooting at all.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it was the veteran.
Yeah.
Because
nice.
even though he did die with 3 flesh wounds, he still did a pretty good job, even though he did die.
Jason, MVP.
Yeah, that's harder to answer. I want to say like.
I think honestly it was your Fireblade. He just gave
That's
so
what
many spare shots throughout the entire.
The drone did get a cool shot off.
I was gonna say either the Fireblade or like the drones that kind of went over here, just because they kind of handled this. I don't want to say handled, but like
Handled it.
they did what they need to over
But
here.
the Fireblade
While they were
gave you
busy.
so many bonus shots throughout the game. Like he gave you what 4? No,
I must have thrown
1,
at least
2,
10
3,
more
buff.
dice.
6 from the Overwatch
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
he gave you like many extra
It's a crazy good aura.
shots like throughout the entire game.
If you're gonna take a buttload of Fire Warriors, you take him.
Yeah.
Because like that, I think the half range thing really balances him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting off topic here, but
I think it's him. I think he
Yeah.
did the most.
we'll go with him. Fireblade.
So, switch up a bit. Jason, 2 minutes or less, your thoughts on the Commander expansion?
Well, I haven't seen or played enough of it really to really give a solid answer, but from what I've seen today, I think it was really good. I think it adds. So the extra points is great. That kind of I consider that part of the expansion.
Yes, yeah.
That's in the missions, right? With where you use
The 100 to 200?
So I think that the more breathing room is like I managed to check all the boxes I needed and then be like, oh, and 2 more fireworks. Like so, it's a good points level, but also the commanders themselves add a lot of interesting kind of abilities. Unless you're Cleary's commander, I'm sure he's interesting too.
He's interesting. The model is very interesting.
Cleary, 2 minutes or less, your thoughts on the Commander's expansion?
So, obviously, some commanders are very good. The ones that do mass amounts of buffing are ones you can like plug it into like certain lists to make them more effective or make certain units more viable. Like with Ben's Genestealer Occult,
Yes.
+1 to hit on otherwise kind of like middling hitting power.
That's really good.
And it can really swing how their effectiveness is.
I like the whole, I can't break.
Yeah, that's an
Very-
insane
very
power.
strong, very
Extremely good.
There's some really good stuff in there.
I think
Oh,
Psyker
yeah.
Commanders are very strong as well. And it's kind of like no one's had to deal with those in our group yet. So that's something
coming.
I'm sure it'll be annoying. Whether it's the Primaris or the Primus sniping people with Cybolt with like he can choose whatever.
Right.
Or if
More
it's
people
like
Cybolt.
or if it's like the librarian who's like strength and toughness 7. Like just like walking through a bunch of like oncoming fire. I'm sure it'll be really annoying. But that being said,
burn
single
that
shot
bridge.
shooting ones really bad. We can
Yeah, because I mean, unless you're like auto hitting or something,
Well,
it's
I
just
could
the math
honestly,
of it.
I could have spent command points, but I didn't have like a command
What
point.
was even his gun?
It's
Stalker.
strength 4 -2. You
Oh.
can choose to either auto hit or auto wound with a tactic. So the doesn't matter. 2 damage.
Okay.
+1 to wound.
You can pick up a
It's
specialist
+1.
with
It's
that.
+1 to wound as well.
For 101 points.
Yeah. It's cool in theory until you listen to the points.
Until you realize you can get 10 scions.
Yeah.
You get a whole fucking kill
Yeah,
team.
you can get exactly. So
And then some.
so I wanted to use the model. This is my only commander that's painted for
It's a cool
Raven Guard. It's a Wiccan model. I knew it was bad going into the game, so I'm not
But
complaining.
you still won, hey?
I still won, and I'm feeling bad for when Jason realizes he had double the points and still lost.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Well, with my guy who did nothing. my
Oh.
commander.
Oh, yeah, I get you're saying, yeah.
It freaked me out there for a second.
It's like the whole thing was like 100 points versus 200.
Pretty much. That was
More or
pretty
less.
much the game.
Yeah,
I know, right? Yeah.
So,
It's fucking great.
but that's just how it goes. Like, he did screw up on, like, 1 or 2 deployment things, and I was able to get lucky and stay locked in combat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
used
no,
that-
you played it
I was
really
able
well.
to use that very effectively to mitigate his really strong fire base.
Yeah.
If I may interject,
Yeah.
I think that this game was a really good example of how, because we've always sort of thought that, you know, a huge bunch of models in a fire base is going to win over a couple of guys that are like kind of melee based and mobile. It was nice to see that actually work.
Yeah, because I mean, you can have 10 models with all the buffs with no target. They're
I
not
just
doing
couldn't
anything.
shoot him. There was like half the game I wasn't
Yeah.
shooting with like my whole
Yeah.
In
board.
fairness, we play with a lot of LOS blocking compared to what's out there.
Even that,
Play
this
with
game,
an
I had a
appropriate amount.
Probably.
you know,
Probably.
even though in this game though, I took a position that I had like a pretty good
Yeah.
firing lane.
I was able to use the
Yeah.
the 3 stack. I really
Yeah.
like this, by the way.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
able to use that to
Yeah, that's
hide
cool.
kind of my back line a bit.
I think those are the best terrain for kill team just because their versatility.
totally.
If you had 6 or 9 of those, you'd never need anything else probably.
Oh yeah.
I do
You can just
also
change them up every time.
I do like the objective placement. It's another of our house rules.
Yeah, because
And,
Diamond here wouldn't have helped anything, I
like,
don't feel.
Diamond
it would have made it worse.
like made it like whatever. Like I'm sure we could come up with a thing of how Diamond could have done it. But this we were able to like place objectives and be like, okay, I think this is a good area
Yes,
for me
yeah.
or for them. Like when I placed the one here, I was
Yeah.
like, Jason, that's not going to help me at all, and it ended up winning me the game. Because like realistically, unless it was that like
Yeah.
him over there and no one here, I was gonna like it's in the open. I'm thinking I'm just gonna get shot, but it ended up helping me win.
That's
so
the thing. You never know how. Like today, I was just like, objective here, objective there, because like you don't really know how the game's gonna go.
Right. Yeah.
yeah, deployment or randomized deployment. Another one of our new house rules we're probably gonna stick with.
I like it.
Yeah. Guaranteed, probably gonna stick with. Definitely help too, because it's not like you can place it knowing where you're deploying, and then you find out where you're deploying. You're like, okay.
And I find
make
this
this
sort
work.
of like movement scale, if you will, like to be bigger. Like the environment you have is this big, but a model can go from like here to here in one turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
it
in, like,
starts to
standard
feel
40K,
really small.
You'd go like half or a third of the board with a quick model.
Yeah.
Unless you were like Eldar.
I still would like to try to double up the overall
I would like to try it.
area. I mean, you can picture the board we have here twice, almost, right? My only thought then is it's still 3 to 5 objectives the way we're playing it, but you can spread out a bit
See
because
how that affects the balance.
well, one frustration I have, which is again, and my frustration is good play for my opponent, but I don't love how much can be tied down in combat by a single model. It's smart, it's effective, it's what won you the game. But I think that we'll see less of that if just by nature we're more spread out.
Oh yeah.
Like you'll see more ambushes and more isolated
If I had
combats,
moved
if that
this way
makes
to move,
sense.
I would have continued moving away.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? If Jason say had all stealth suits,
Oh yeah, that'd change
like
everything.
on the big board too, though, it's like
It'd
okay,
be really unfair.
like yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can do the opposite, just stay away the entire game, and then just like move in advance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I could not fire a shot and then just gank the objective.
That's where it's still critical to have the LOS blockers and where they're located as well.
Yeah.
Just because, again, I also don't think you want every big OS blocker to be something you can stand on.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
Sometimes you want a thing that blocks on a sight but is like a point.
Or like that has very limited real estate. Like you might get 2 or 3 models up.
Oh,
You're not going
that's
to get.
another
I
thing.
like
I
the
did
truck.
not want to give him that corner because I'm like he would just.
Oh
could
god,
fast
yeah,
walk.
yeah.
I could, it could
Yeah,
be
exactly.
unassaultable. It'd suck.
You'd have a giant 3-level castle. Yeah.
Well, see, what would happen then is he would just move here, and then I wouldn't be able to see you, and then you wouldn't be able to assault me, and we would just be like, well, that's
I
the
mean,
game.
like, you have drones that could float around and get stuff towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess.
I could also like you'd have to jump down and maybe kill your guys or.
So I think it would just be like a
Yeah.
The
more
terrain
attrition.
rules are good, but the
Point.
way models move is a little weird. Just vis-a-vis fly versus like grapple, where
Yeah.
fly you can basically fly over other models, or grapple it's like the only limitation is other models. Realistically, it's a
exactly.
little weird. It's hard to get your head around.
Why
in a
not
way.
just give them fly, really? But
I like that
I'm
there's a
fine with
distinction,
it.
but I almost just wish there was degrees of fly, like
also
fly
lets
1,
you
2, and
fall
3.
back
Like
and
I
shoot.
agree.
yes, that's a little strong. That's,
So like I can see like you can't like
Yeah, that's right.
like grappling to move is one thing you can kind of like eye roll it a bit if you figure these guys are like super soldiers in mega armor.
yeah.
But like grappling backwards and like shooting your pistol as you go or throwing grenades is maybe
it's a little
maybe a
Overwatchy.
little
yeah.
too much. It's a little too much of an anime. there.
XCOM.
Yeah.
Like you guys are. It's a little too much for me.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
It's not so much grim dark as it is just like wow, like okay, like they're all doing that, not just
Spider-Man
the
with a
one.
gun.
Yeah, it's like it's not like it's Batman who you're like okay, it's Batman. He's special as the character.
Last but not least, they released kill team rules for Blackstone.
Yeah.
Cleary, you can take over from there.
So I'm really interested in the Chaos faction because
Yes.
it's a new faction and kind of
The better chaos.
yeah
Ish.
ish. And I would really like to try it, so please donate to the Patreon. So I can
Wait a minute, no.
So I can find
hold on. Just because you brought up Patreon, so I was making a Patreon, and I was about a third of the way through, and then they kicked Sargon off of Patreon. So I'm fucking done with Patreon.
What? Anyway.
Anyway, they kicked the big YouTuber off Patreon.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, please like fund me on the Patreon so I can buy more models to eventually paint and then play
The Patreon we
at
don't
some
have.
point.
You
Yeah,
can
exactly.
also send cash money to P.O. Box, whatever P.O. Box is.
We also accept cryptocurrency.
Okay. But yeah, so basically they introduced a variety of either commanders or like off heroes, I guess we'd call them. Like the
Mini gods.
doesn't count as a heavy towards your limit, but is one.
Incredibly low-costed characters that are
So,
better
yeah.
than any equivalent
So,
in
like,
game for the points.
The Imperial Guard got a whole whack of them. Pretty much the robot isn't, the rogue trader doesn't have to be, but the rest of the humans are. The
The squats are kind of the
rattlings
standouts.
are really good for 18 points for 2 models,
Wait,
4
are they
wounds.
rattlings or are they
Rattlings.
squats?
They're
They're
rattlings. I call them squats.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're really good for 18 points.
2 wounds each.
Yeah. The rest of them, they're like interesting. Like the robot's cool.
The robot's not too
The
expensive.
rest are like whatever.
The Kroot guy is neat.
The Kroots,
He's nifty.
whatever.
He's a cheap commander.
Yeah, the Elders, whatever. But the real cool thing of the Blacksmith stuff is the Servants of the Abyss. I think
Yes.
it's called. It's the
Yeah.
Chaos. You got a Chaos Lord, so he has the Invulsive, he's got the attack, he's got Thunder Hammers. He's really cool. I don't know how good he is because he's like a melee beatstick with like the defensive tree, so he's cool. The model's awesome. I like it a lot. You've got +1 cultists. They've got slightly better save. They've got
The Negavolt cultists.
well, no, like the guardsmen, the Trader.
Oh, I know, but just the
guardsmen.
Negavolts are cool.
Yeah, Negavolts are pretty good melee stuff from what I can tell. They can really fry hordes. But that's kind of like the theme, is that you can only really kill hordes well, because
Yeah.
there's no armor-piercing weapons aside from that Thunder Hammer. And the Cybolt, which is the other cool thing.
It's the
The
Lord.
Chaos Lord, yeah. You can have like 2 Rogue Psychers, which is good for like target priority.
How many points are they?
Let's figure it out real fast. But while I check this out, yeah, the Rogue Psychers, you can have a couple, which is your only other source of armor.
They're 4
pierce.
wounds apiece. That's
Yeah.
I know.
That's a little interesting. But
A little bit.
they're cool because the Chaos faction right now, you can, have 2 special weapons or heavy weapons, whatever.
You can have a special.
A special and a heavy.
bolter.
One's like a Plasma or a Melta, one's going to be like a heavy bolter, and then you're going to have 2 flamers off your cultists.
Yeah. Or stubbers.
You're going to have 2 flamers off your cultists, Jason. Like, you're going to have that. But that's all you really have, and your champion, Chaos Champion, is going to be Khorne, and he's going to be a melee guy with a power fist or a power weapon. It's kind of really mono build and boring.
Yeah.
The commanders kind of spice it up, but
Ish,
this gives you
ish.
a lot more options. You have like Beastmen, you have Trader Guard, you got Rogue Psychers, you got Negavolt cultists.
That's awesome.
A bunch of cool things. Again, the drawback is armor piercing. But like your horde stuff is more reliable around Chaos Space Marines, which still suck. And the models are really cool. So it can't be any worse than normal Chaos is my trademark line right there.
And you could use them as normal cultists anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing.
Or guard.
Or guard, yeah, just badass guard. Actually, that's what you do. You do Chaos Guard count as.
Yeah,
You just
why
take
not?
one of the new characters. You do the Chaos Rouse and Rouse and Ronald. What are they called?
Rouse and Rhine or something like that.
Ryan. Yeah, that was it. One of those weird French sounding names.
More
I'm not
German.
going to DF,
It's
and you
more
can't
German,
make me.
but yeah,
Whatever.
like
Rien.
yeah.
All right, what else can we say? Anything else?
We had fun. I had fun.
Yep. I had fun. I also had beer.
All right, yeah, we had beer.
Cheers.
Well,
So long.
So long.
Smells like big fish
Farewell.
steak.
And if you didn't say goodnight.
Gods of war, may your hammer be mighty.